Max found himself alone outside luxurious Diplomat Hotel around midnight. From the glass doors he could see the lobby and people inside. The antique wall-hanging lamplights, paintings of movie classics, and artsy furniture looked inviting. Outside there was a large centerpiece water fountain, a marble child holding out a large seashell on his shoulder which was gushing out water dripping with golden light. Max remembered he was sitting there with his date half-hour ago. December cold air didn't bother him as long as he kissed her. And he kissed long and deep, from her lips to her neck, only to stop to stare at her beautiful pale face. The crowd that usually forms major part of scenery outside Diplomat was now gone and the road ahead seemed desolate and lifeless. A distant dim yellow light of street lamp illuminated his path like mouth of a cave that hides various skulls and bones of lost travelers. People of Bareilly City in India usually go to bed early. Even people who dared to roam the streets this late at night seemed to be in a hurry, like they were running from something, a monster perhaps. A beam of light from a taxi shone through the distant dark. "Taxi!" Max shouted, raising his hand like a drowning man crying for help. Taxi went across, passing him with great speed. Max took a glimpse inside and saw the face of the driver. He looked horrified while he drove away. "Stop!" Max shouted again. "Nothing." A few days ago 2 murders took place around this place. A rich couple getting out of hotel stuffed with quality food late at night. Max had read stories of crimes like this so many times in the local newspaper. That was the reason police patrol can be seen usually roaming around these parts of the city. He looked around if he could spot red flashing lights or hear a police siren. Nothing. He looked back again to luxurious Diplomat Hotel. Through the glass doors, he saw only darkness. All the lights of the lobby were switched off. Even the fountain centerpiece looked like a large goblin holding a severed head which was gushing out blood. Max thought the way back to home on foot could be an hour walk. He used to go hiking with his wife back in California. Walking a couple of miles was never a problem for him. He pulled out his phone to see the time. The screen was dark as the night. Damn it, he cursed under his breath. His new shimmering smartphone had all the new features except a good battery life. A switched-off smartphone was just as dumb as a brick, he thought. He started walking along the streets with his hands inside his jacket pocket. The night was breathing cold, damp December air. A layer of thick fog has started to creep into atmosphere. After walking for a while, Max noticed a shortcut to the next block. Strange, he thought, I didn't notice this on my way over here. He thought this way might save him some time, so he decided to take it. The street was dimly lit and narrow. The overhanging branches of the trees looked like outstretched claws. There was a sweet smell in the air. The smell of a flower that spreads his scent only in the night. It was beautiful to him how so many creatures only come alive in the night. He quickened his steps. He thought how much he looked forward to this night and how badly it turned against him. How much he had planned for her to make this night special. He had craved her beautiful body for all summer, and now finally in winter he had a chance to conquer her. He remembered how happy he was sitting in front of his date with a birthday cake on the table. The golden light of candles illuminating her fair face, her brown skin, curls of her pink lips, and oh, that smile. He loved her at that moment. Then moments later his wife walked in. "What are you doing here? Who is this girl? Are you fucking her? You son of a bitch. I will kill you." Whole restaurant saw the scene. The entire birthday cake was thrown on his face. Both of them were gone and he was left alone, sitting there on the table meant for 2. He sat there for 10 long minutes before he paid his bill and went to the restroom. He needed this walk. He needed this meditation to contemplate his mistakes. Suddenly he heard a faint sound of distant footsteps. He turned around. Nothing. The path behind him was just as dark as the path in front of him. He could now hear his own heartbeat clear as the sounds of bugs and birds of the night. He turned to his way and started walking again. The sound of cold wind hissed against his ears like a snake about to strike. He again heard the sound of footsteps right behind him. He turned around again. Darkness? Max's walk now tuned into a sprint. He couldn't even see clearly what was in front of him. All he wanted was to get away from that horrible sound of heavy footsteps. They started to get quicker and come closer and closer. Max ran and ran till all his old injuries came alive together. His left knee, his ankle, his elbow tendonitis all started to hurt. Suddenly he hit something head first. He fell to the ground. Max pulled out his phone and pushed the power button, hoping there was some battery life left. The phone screen lit up with a loud and welcoming sound. With the phone light, he saw there was a giant old oak tree right in front of him. His head was throbbing with pain. He pressed his hand to his forehead. There was blood on his fingers. It was dripping from his forehead to his nose, to his chin, and down to his now blood-smeared phone. He noticed there were 2 new text messages. One was from his date of tonight. "You deserve to die," it read. The second one was from his wife. "Go to hell." The sound of footsteps echoed again. He turned around and used the light from the screen to look into the darkness. He saw 2 dark figures standing right behind him. Max's eyes stretched in horror, like seeing a tiger first time in the forest ready to rip you apart, and then the light of the phone died.